Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be part 1 of my tutorial series on how to use the new Precision Farming DLC. If this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, so this is part 1 of a series I'm going to do. My goal is to keep these short, sweet, and to the point as much as possible. So I'm going to have the help menu on the whole time, and I'm going to have the map on the whole time so you can see anything. But first off, this is about the Precision Farming DLC, which I'm not going to go into any details about that other than just some of the basics to it. So these are the things in that pack. There's 2 of these buildings here, which I'll go over in the store in a second. Then there is basically this guy right here, which is the Azaria, for getting soil samples and stuff like that, and then there is the John Deere Gator. So if we look at these guys in the store, the Gator is under cars. It's this guy right here. It does come with the ability to do a 3-point link attachment, or without. I have mine with a 3-point link attachment because you're going to want that 3-point link to be able to use the Azaria Scout, which is this guy right here. That's the guy hooked up to the back. This is used for soil sampling, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. We are going to go over how to do soil samples in this, but we're not going to talk about a lot of what the information you get means in this video here. So those are the 2 main things there. And then under miscellaneous, we have a shed with an RTK station and a building with RTK base station. It does say the station provides your vehicles with a better GPS signal. This helps your AI helpers to drive more precise and do their work faster. I haven't tested any of it to see if it does help make faster or anything. I have heard that it does reduce maybe the costs that they pay for seed and stuff like that, or different stuff like that. So there's a lot of testing and a lot of questions that a lot of people don't necessarily know the answers to with this. But anyhow, yeah, so the one with the shed, it does legitimately have a shed in it. You can use strange door noise for a metallic door like that. But anyhow, so we're going to hop in this guy and use this in a second to test out some stuff. So looking in here, this is what we know of with Farming Simulator. We have everything in here that we need to know. Over here, if we move around this, that's pretty standard here. This now, you don't have the fertilizer menu and you don't have the lime menu. That's because that stuff is not going to show up in here. It's going to show up in a different menu. It's going to show up in the Precision Farming menu, which we're going to go over in a second. So in this menu, I already tested this field and looked around it. There's some different soil things to look at here under soil types. So under soil types, you have soil sample taken, which will show up when you have taken a soil sample and it needs to be tested by a lab. And you see down here, we have the laboratory. Currently no soil samples to analyze. They analyze super quick, so you don't have to worry about them taking forever to analyze. Then the different ground types are silty clay, loam, sandy loam, and loamy sand. So this one doesn't have any loamy sand, but it does have silty clay through here, and then loam on each side, and then over here a little bit of sandy loam. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and test out a couple of different points on these 3 fields here, just to take a look at them and see what we can find out. Now, if we go over one more, it's going to show you the pH level, which I now know because I tested it. You're not going to see it for anything you don't have tested for. And then if the data is outdated, then you're going to have the outdated data symbol on there as well. So the pH, we're going to go over in more detail what these different ones. I like you can turn them on and off so like I can turn to see exactly what each section's at. And stuff like that, but we're going to go over to more details of what the pH means. This is essentially what you have to change, or this is what the liming is now used for, is to raise the pH level. So if we go to nitrogen, this is what fertilizer is now used for, and again, you have the different fertilizer amounts. And then if we go over to yield, we don't have any data on that because we haven't harvested anything, but once you harvest, you'll get some more yield. And again, we're going to go into all of these in a future one, or a future video. So now, taking a look at buying, if we go to the buy screen, back on the map here, if we go to the buy screen, it's going to give us some details here. So this is the soil distribution. It's loam, 39% and 60% silty clay. And the expected yield potential is 102%. So based on whatever that state that field's in, and if we go over here, that one's really good. Mostly loam, which loam is the best of the best. Over here, 87%, so it's going to have a lower yield and such like that. Now, if we sell off ours, it's going to tell us some information about ours as well. So that's a pretty neat feature of this. Yeah, and there is, if we go into here, there is a so there is an economic screen. If we go, let's get out of here real quick, go back into here. If we click on a field, there's an economic analysis, which is going to tell us kind of money we have into a field, different information about that field, and then the total and everything like that. Show total values, show values. Yeah, so since reset, you can reset it every time you want to. But yeah, and it shows you some more information about it. So this is pretty cool, and we'll look at this in more detail in a future video. Again, this is just the entry level video to get us just kind of dipping our feet into it a little bit here. So We hop out. We're going to use this guy to take some soil samples. Now, I don't know what crops are in these, so I'm actually going to do this real quick, and it's what fields we're doing. 19, 20, 21. Let's go over here. 20, 19, and 21. So I just set some to a cultivator. That's a different mod that has nothing to do with this, but that's just so it gets them out of the way. Now, I can drive, and I can do this with anything that has a 3-point link on the back, but so first I'm going to need to, if I hit B to take a soil sample, it says I need to unfold it first, so I'm going to hit X to unfold it, and now it's going to zoom in the mini map. So let me look at the mini map. You're not going to see it if you have it zoomed out like that, but if we're in the small one, it's going to zoom us in if I hit X to unfold, and there's that green circle. So that green circle is the section that you're going to sample. So you have to sample different sections, and there's no limit to how many you can sample. It does charge you per sample you take. So like if I wanted to sample this, I can zoom in here a little bit. I can hit B, and it's going to take a soil sample. Now it does throw a little dirt in one of those cups down there, but even once there's 3 cups full, it doesn't matter. Now if I keep moving forward, because now look at the map, you can see where I've taken a soil sample, and if I go into the precision farming menu, it's going to show that I took a soil sample there. So if we keep going, there's a lot of tests that I will probably end up doing with this, because there's a lot of unanswered questions that I want to answer about this as far as different things go with it. So there will be a lot, and I do want you guys to post your questions down below, because after I finish my tutorial series on it, I am going to go through and do a couple of frequently asked questions videos, where it's basically questions you guys have said, and I'm going to try to answer those questions as best I can, and go through that. So leave me comments down below what questions you have about it, just working with it, that you have, because I am going to do some different videos with it. And I do anticipate this video is obviously going to come out a decent time after after this has come out. So, and I'm just going randomly about this. I'm not really focusing too much on it. And you can see at the bottom of the help screen, it says soil samples taken 4. So we've taken 4 soil samples so far, and I'll just go run and we'll grab one over here at this field. Just hit one. You can do it on the go like that. Don't necessarily recommend it, but you can drive around while you're taking samples if you want to. There we go. Okay. Now you see on the help menu, it says hit Y to send the soil samples for analysis. So I'm going to hit Y to do that, and it's going to ask me this. I'm going to hit OK. Now it's basically the next minute that passes in game, so it's 10:38 right now. So I'm just going to bump the time up a second here, and as soon as it passes over a minute, it's going to bill us for them. There we go. $500 for the soil samples. So now we have some new information in here. But first I want to go over one thing. So if we are on normal difficulty, it will charge us $100 per sample. On easy, which is a step below that, it'll charge $50 per sample. And on hard, it will charge $150. So just note that. Fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at some of the info we gathered now from this. If we go into the precision farming menu. So it looks like we have some sandy loam here. We have some loamy sand through here, and you can see it is fluid through the map, and then we have some loam here. So now if we can turn these off or on, take a look at different ones. Have a look at the pH. The pH actually looks decent on these, which is awesome. And nitrogen, that's not great on those, but you have all this different data now. So if we actually hop out and we have field info on, you can see down in the bottom right hand corner it says the pH value is good. 5.75 out of 6. So 6 is the target. Now, if I go somewhere where there's a different type of soil, which, see, this one I don't have any info on because I don't know what type of soil it is. Let's see. Let's go on our map here. Yeah, if we go down to this little chunk at the bottom. So, loamy sand and then sandy loam. There we go. Is 6.5. So, we're at 6.25 out of 6.5. So, it's still good, but that's the target, and that changes between each area. Now, nitrogen, it just says how much nitrogen is in the different areas because it doesn't know if it's good, bad, or anything like that. And the reason for that is it depends on what crop you're growing, is what if the nitrogen's good, bad, or anything like that. But yeah, so that's just basically how you take soil samples. That's how you start looking at some of the data, and those are all the basic aspects of the Precision Farming DLC. So again, this is just part 1 of a series of videos. In the next couple of videos, we're going to start taking a look at the pH values. We're going to start taking a look at the nitrogen values. Then we're going to look at the harvest values and the economic screen. And so it'll probably be a part 4 or 5 series, and then we'll do some frequently asked questions videos. So anyhow, that is everything I have for you guys today. We'll continue this series in the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on your screen to join the Farmer Cop channel, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. But this has been Farmer Cop, guys. Thank you for coming and watching.